right.
There we go. Looks like we're started. Then I won't forget.
Do you expect a full, surely you expect a quorum, yeah?
Yes, I only need two people for a quorum now. So, because we
Uh,
only have six members, I've only heard that one isn't coming. So hopefully we're good.
Wait, on six members, only two is a quorum?
Because we only have to have a third
Really?
at the commission
Okay.
in our bylaws. Must be a state thing too for
Yeah.
our PCs. And I checked that because, yeah, somebody was unsure. So.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, Sue's here. Good.
Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Is it just me so far?
So
So far.
far, Bonnie said she was coming, so hopefully she'll re or it'll work.
I can check and see if Steven's in his office. I
Okay,
don't know if he
great.
said he was coming or not.
I did not hear either way.
Okay. Do you want me to go check?
Sure.
Okay, hold on.
There's Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Mike's going to be helping me out more on this, especially if we get that new grant application.
Nice.
Crossing our fingers.
No such luck.
No
I
such
can
luck.
text him and see if he's joining.
Okay. Well, Bonnie and Ralph said they were coming, so we'll give it another couple minutes. See if I have any emails. Anyone having trouble? Okay, Dan Toomey doesn't have a link. Let me send it to him. You may not realize they're on the agendas. Well, if he is able to join in and Bonnie doesn't, Sue, maybe you could share. I can't hear you.
I said I can wing it.
Yeah, I know you can. Usually Bonnie's right on time.
Without celebrating her earmark.
Her earmark.
Yeah, saw the diner got a earmark.
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You guys got a big one too.
Yes. Yeah. Really exciting about that one.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. New
Which one
industrial.
did you get, Adam?
To put the industrial park out at on Putney Road.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's the full flex and 22 Brown Court and all the way back to Long Falls.
Okay.
So all of that will become a geographically designated, although we don't own all of those parcels, but geographic industrial and technology park with infrastructure installed in the front lawn portion. So that'll have water, wastewater, stormwater, and pre-designed and permitted through Act 250 ready to go. So folks who come looking could start building, in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Okay. So I sent it to Dan, but where is he?
Dan's here.
Oh, he came on. All right. I was just looking at the emails again. Dan, glad you
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah, thank you. Easy.
Dan, so do you use Outlook?
Yes.
Okay, so I did send a calendar link. I can resend
Oh,
that.
I got, I've got that, but
Okay,
yeah, I got all the information I needed. I just didn't have
okay,
the Zoom connection. So I'm good.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. And it's on the agenda too,
Yeah.
so you know. Okay, well, Sue, if you're willing to chair, maybe we could do
Yeah,
that.
I'm just texting Steven who said he maybe can be on in 2 minutes.
Okay, that'd be
But
great.
okay. So just responding to him.
Yeah.
All right, let me toggle between screens. Um, where's the agenda? Hold on, sorry. Okay, so I guess it's 4:07. I will call this meeting to order. Do we have any agenda amendments, Sue?
I do not.
Anybody else have anything?
Hmm.
No? All right. Next up is to welcome Adam Grinald of BDCC. He is a non-voting member. I don't know if you, Sue or Adam, want to say anything about it?
No, we're just really happy to have BDCC participate in this, because of all the activities they have related to this kind of work. Adam, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm glad, we changed a leadership team meeting here, which is, on a weekly basis, which prevented us from participating recently. So glad to be back. Neil will be, attending with me often, or, basically what I want to do is make sure Neil learns all of this work. So
Yeah,
not necessarily looking to have him sit in my place, but really just, start to acquaint him with the work that the Brownfields committee does. And he's attended the EPA Brownfield training course last summer, the annual conference. So really just starting to embed him deeper into this work. So glad to
yeah,
be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
great. Thank you.
All
Welcome.
right. So next up is minutes approval. I'm just pulling those up. I know I wasn't at the meeting. Okay, Dan was there, so we could take action on them. I can vote even though I wasn't there.
I believe you can.
Okay.
The
I
weird
think
All right.
thing.
if you weren't present, you should not vote. Or I mean, you abstain. That's
Abstain. Okay, so then we probably shouldn't take action. I've seen, all sorts of varying.
You are allowed to, but that's
I
okay. We can push it off till next month. Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then so next is coalition assessment grant application. Sue, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I just want to let you all know I was working on it or starting it last time we had a meeting, I believe, and it was submitted January 27th. It passed the initial test of meeting all the thresholds, so that's good. But we probably won't know whether or not we are successful until about June. But
June?
cross your
Yeah,
fingers.
that's not
Yes,
bad.
that's the goal.
Right. Excellent.
Yep, especially because we're almost out of money,
Yeah,
assessment money.
yeah, great. Do you want to move on to the next item, which is telling us about the status of funds?
Yes. So this agenda shows the Vermont Assessment Fund's about $8,000. I actually did receive an additional $37,000 from the state funds that Mount Scottney's been holding for us. And so we're using that for the phase 2 of a project that we approved at our last meeting. And with that, we actually only have about $225 remaining in that assessment budget. I have spoken to Montesquieu again, and they said there may be additional funding for the projects we're looking at this month, but they're not sure about that at this time. They should know next week or so. They're just trying to make sure everything else has been obligated and then seeing what's remaining. So anything we do today will have to be dependent on funding availability. Our EPA assessment grant funds is probably even less than this 2,000 it shows. I need to, reconcile exactly what's remaining there, but that's really almost out. And then the RLF funds are similar to how they've previously looked because we haven't approved any new funding. Although we're moving forward with the grant agreement for 81 Royal Road, which is an old Morningside shelter site that's already started some of the work, and we have approved it, but we just got the review back from EPA on that cooperative agreement. Things got a little behind at EPA, as you can imagine, with the shutdown in the fall.
Mhm.
Any questions on that?
Can you just remind me for 81 Royal Road, what is the what are they cleaning up?
It's a lot of lead from the building and the soils. And I think that's the main thing. There might be some other things
Okay.
related.
Okay, thanks. Didn't remember that one.
Yeah. We did approve it a while ago, and it's taken a long time to get here.
Yeah. Any
Yeah,
other
but
questions?
that's what happens with these RLF.
Yeah. They take a while to go through. Any other questions about status of funds? No? All right. Do you usually go through the consultants, Sue, or
Not really. That's
No.
just kind of for your information. If anybody has any questions,
Okay.
just to let you know how we've been splitting up the work.
Okay. Let's move on to, if there are no questions, let's move on to the application. So first is the Putney Town Hall.
Yes, and so the Putney Town Hall is getting prepared for a major renovation project. They have a couple grants in place to help with that work. One from MERP that Mike could tell you more about if you wanted to know. It's energy resilience funding. And the Paul Brune grant, which is for historic preservation. The town hall hasn't been renovated in quite a while, and it was built when a long time ago, 1871. Originally, it was a school, but it's housed a number of different uses over the years and has been the town hall and town offices since the 1960s. And as part of their Paul Brun grant, they're required to do a phase one, but they're also interested to see, what else is happening there. And so, um, let's see, the building is on the National Register and in the historic district there in Putney. This is a town-led project in the village center using existing infrastructure. And those are just some of the highlights from the matrix. If anybody had any other questions about the matrix or this project, let me know. And Dan might have something to say about it because Dan is from Putney.
I, um, I know that it's a very old building and I'm in there frequently. Pretty obvious that it had been a school building. We haven't got anything more to say.
Okay.
Seems like a good idea.
So you
Yeah.
mentioned it was renovated. Are you sure it was ever
No,
renovated?
it's in need of renovation. Did I say it wrong?
I think you said it
Like that.
hasn't in a while. I don't think it was ever, right?
Probably not. It doesn't look like it.
That is a
It
original
depends
version.
on what you mean by renovation. I think there have been modifications to the interior on both floors.
Probably.
I wouldn't go so far as calling them renovations. I think that's the short of it.
Yeah.
So I am curious about the other past uses because I'm gonna be honest, on its face, I'm not so sure it's a brownfield site. Like, yes, it had an oil tank. It probably had a spill, as many buildings. Um, but it does say other past uses include a hotel, potential distillery, potash works, malt house, and slaughterhouse. Do we know when those were past uses? Was it of the site? Was it of the actual building? Um, and I want to be clear, like I struggle with whether or not it's really a brownfield in my eyes. I understand like that this is a requirement of the Paul Brun grant, and I always want to be able to help out towns. I just think we just need to be like clear of what we're doing. Do we think this is a brownfield site and therefore it's eligible? Because that's what this funding is for, or are we just helping out a town? So that's kind of the way I feel about it.
Yeah, so those past uses were passed on to me by their historic preservation consultant.
Mhm.
And that's really what I know about it. So, they are things that could have implications, including, of course, the oil tank remediation. Um, but I don't have a lot more information than that.
To Westa, what is the impact if there was an oil tank and it was that in ground or in the basement?
Um, I do not know that either. It was probably in ground, but I'm not 100% sure. Often the old ones were.
And is that through the state program? Is that something that the Brownfields program even gets involved in if there was a removal and remediation needed?
Yeah, so often they assess the soil surrounding tank to see if there's any contamination there.
And does it need to be a Brownsfield to have that assessment, or does Wyndham Regional help property
Um,
owners with outside of the Brownfields process to Sue Fillion's question?
we only do it through the Brownfields process. There is another program called the Petroleum Cleanup Fund that
Yeah,
currently does not have any funding at the state. So that's not real useful right now.
okay. Good
And so
education.
you're saying we actually don't even have money for this at this time. It's going to be contingent. Anything that we do would be contingent on you funding money.
Yes, on whatever amount of Scutney has remaining in that state fund that they're managing for all the RPCs.
So I wonder before we do this, if we could talk about the other one as well.
Okay,
And that way we know, like, so it's not like a first come, first, I don't know. Maybe
yeah,
we just talk about them both and then, because I have something to add on this next one that might.
okay. So, yeah, let's decide about, review the second one, and then we can decide how we want to prioritize them.
Yeah. I guess before we do that, does anybody have any other questions on the Putney Town Hall? No. Okay. Sue, why don't you tell us about 33 Oak Street?
So 33 Oak Street, again, not a real typical brownfield site. It's been apartments, most recently 8 apartments, but has been empty for a while. They currently have lead abatement underway through a different program with the state. But they're concerned about lead and asbestos and other things being in the soils, because that's not part of the lead cleanup that they're doing, apparently. And so they have received some, or they're hoping to receive some CDBG money, which I understand, Sue, they're working with the town on. No?
Well, they were. We're not going to put it forward. It's not ready and it's not, doesn't meet HUD's habitability. So that was a decision the town made this week.
Okay, so what do you mean it doesn't meet the town's
It
habitability?
doesn't meet HUD's habitability standard because she was basically going to do a phased project over 3 years. She wanted to renovate 4 units, bring them online, get more VC, more community development block grant money, do more units. And that's not going to work. The town wouldn't commit to doing 3 applications, nor would the Vermont Community Development Program allow that.
Interesting, yeah.
And furthermore, it's just she's not far enough along. So I feel like so I told her this week that we're not submitting. We wouldn't support her application. Um, and I don't know, I suspect she was only doing the phase one to get the environmental release. So,
Maybe.
um,
I was
sorry
Hmm.
if I
curious
confuse everything.
how she
Sorry,
was
go.
Yeah.
getting, she's already made choice limiting,
Yes.
like, is she even eligible for CDBG?
Yeah, they told us that they didn't support it
Yeah.
as well. So, yeah.
The state? Mhm.
Yeah, in terms of a CDBG grant, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, I think this is another one on its face. Like it's been a residential use, like where is the brownfield use? And I think if our program is going to be open to, filling environmental review requirements or, other grant requirements, maybe we have that conversation at another time, just so that we're being
mhm,
consistent and people
mhm.
know that this is a place they can come for that. Um, I think given for
And
me,
sometimes they come to us for that because it's more obviously a brownfields issue too.
right,
It just happens. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to, I think that maybe you should have the conversation with Megan if she's still interested in the funds, given that a VCDP grant's not going to be moving forward at this time. I
Hmm.
can't speak for her on that, but if you're trying to find money, I'm not sure that this is one that needs to move forward at this time.
Hmm.
Yeah, why else would she do this at this stage of her ownership?
Well, right, because she purchased the property without
Right.
doing it, so.
Okay.
And my understanding is there's only one round of VCDP grants this year. And so, even if she came back with a new project, it's going to be another year before. And maybe you'd have more funding by then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
Which
glad you're here.
the consolidated plan is open for comments, I think. I'm on that committee and attended their meeting Monday. So not totally germane to our agenda here, but Sue, if you ever had concerns about there only being one open or one round of applications, there's a growing chorus of people saying that they should put it back to, 2, 3, or 4.
Okay, good.
Which
I'll
they're-
take a look into that. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's a funding limitation thing, but then I think it needs to be a little bit more open in how many a town can submit, but
Yeah.
Okay, so
So do you want to take action on this one first if nobody thinks that this is appropriate to move forward at this time? Maybe we should do that first.
what I heard Sue say maybe is to ask, and I'm a non-voting member, so tell me to stand down, was that perhaps you maybe pass this over for this meeting and ask you to speak with her to see if she still wants to apply.
Okay. And maybe more appropriately when there's a new funding round.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I think that would be good. I mean, I don't feel comfortable voting for it at this time, given that there's like such a material change in what she represented. But if she, next month, if she decided that this would be really useful for her, then we could have that conversation again, I guess, but take it out of the context of the community development block grant, because that is not happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Would it be helpful to have a motion?
I don't know. We could just, I don't know if it matters for this since we're not really taking an action, if it's just by consensus that the group agrees. Do you think that makes sense?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Dan, Stephen,
Yes.
do you have
Right.
anything you want to add or
No,
questions?
I agree.
Okay.
I'm on the same page, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Stephen, for
All right.
joining us.
So then we have the Putney Town Hall. We can go back to that one. Does anybody want to make a motion? Are there any questions or?
Stephen, I'm not sure if you're here for that discussion, or if you have anything you want to add?
No, I was here for that, and I appreciate
Okay.
understanding our position with funds and the rest of it. I guess the only question I would have that makes sense is, do we see other things coming down the pipeline? What are our expectations for further funding? If we use kind of the last of what we've got for this phase one, then do we think we're going to leave ourselves in a bad position moving forward?
Yeah, so that discussion, I did talk about the fact that we really don't have any remaining funding right now for assessment work. I'm waiting to hear about EPA funding, won't know until June. And the state, however, I might be able to get a little bit from our state funding. They might have a little bit left over to do a phase one. So this, if we accept it, it would need to be contingent on funding availability.
I would be a fan of approving it if you can get it from the state, but I don't want to create a waiting list basically for projects and, and unintentionally prioritize this at the top of the list.
Yeah.
So could I make a motion to that effect?
Sure.
I think
Sorry.
we could go ahead, Sue.
I can
Yeah,
try.
I mean, if you want to move it forward with the motion, I guess, but if you want to comment on the particular motion, so you should do that.
Oh, I mean, I'm a former recent resident of Putney. The building needs a lot of help. I
Yeah.
think this is just going to help get it towards a place where it can enjoy the investment from these other grants in a very big way. And the MERP money is pretty transformational for a building like this. It's exactly the kind of building they're hoping to enable. So I'm for it in general. It's in these questions, it's always weighing the opportunity cost of this versus other things, but I'm on board with this as a use of our funds.
Well, as you know, there aren't big dollars for these phase ones, so you know, if we are able to get additional funding from Mount Scottney to do this, that's pretty much going to be it because this money has to be used up by June anyways.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Stephen, was that a motion to approve phase one contingent on finding or on the availability of state brownfields funds that would be used by June?
You put it so perfectly, Sue. I couldn't have done it. So thank you. I so move.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hands or, oh, sorry, any other discussion? Sorry. Okay. All in favor, please raise your hands or say aye. Okay. Passes 3-0.
Great, thank you.
All right. I think I closed out my agenda accidentally, so
That's okay.
what do we have next?
We just have the chart with our active site updates. Anything new to point out? I'm just looking at it quickly. I did tell you about the state funding for 108 Rockingham, which we approved, Rockingham Street, which we approved at our last meeting. I mentioned the Morningside Shelter site, cooperative agreements underway. A couple other projects that moved forward that were previously approved. The wheel pad site in Wilmington needed some additional testing. And we were approved by the state to use that funding. And then the only other one is that Weston FEMA buyout site. They have requested partial funding for our phase two, a partial phase two, because some of that work is being covered by FEMA. And so I'm trying to find out if I can access some other state funding for that specific site that's specifically geared towards FEMA buyouts. And that's about it. Any questions?
I'm curious about the Weston buyout. If you can't get additional funds, then I imagine the town of Weston needs to pay for that phase two. Do you think it would be a potential stopper of a project?
So I did attend their select board meeting last week along with FEMA person, DEC person, and the consultant. And the town decided that they do want to move forward, but they don't want to pay anything else. So if this doesn't go through, they are talking to the estate that owns the property about adjusting the price accordingly or somehow ensuring that they don't have to pay for anything. We'll see how that all works out.
Could it potentially wait till we have new funding, maybe October 1st if we're lucky? Or
Yeah.
would that push the timeline for them too much? It'd be
I'm
a shame
not,
for it to fall apart.
I know. Exactly. Yeah, we didn't get into that timeline yet, but if necessary, we'll see if we can do that.
Are there any other questions on sites in the program?
I have just a quick question about the food works in Brattleboro. It says phase two completed and updated phase one underway. So that would suggest that we've gone back to phase one in a sense, and I'd just like to know what the updating was, or
So
that's about, and if that happens frequently.
that at the we try not to have it happen too frequently, but it does happen once in a while. The issue there is that the groundworks was in the process of purchasing the site, and the phase
Mhm.
one needs to be done within a certain period of time,
Mhm.
and if not, it needs to be updated in order for it to be for then that site to be eligible for cleanup funding in the future if it's needed. So that's why
Okay.
they did the phase one
Okay.
update.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Any other questions? Um, is there any public comment? I don't see any public on here. Um, all right, if there's no other business, do you need a motion for adjournment? We've gone through everything. I think I can
No,
adjourn the meeting, right?
you can.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we've gone through the agenda. If there's no other business, I will adjourn the meeting at 4:36.
Okay, thank
Everybody,
you. And thank you all for attending.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
thank you.